Hello, I'm Julia Unwin. I've been invited to chair the inquiry into the future of civil society. I have many questions, but my big question is, what will civil society look like in the future when so many other things are changing? How can civil society respond?
I'm Danny Sriskandarajah, Secretary General of Civicus. And because I work in a global organisation, I'm really interested in understanding how citizen action in the UK fits within the global context of how people are organising and mobilising. We're seeing such amazing things happen in civil society, a lot of it really positive, but a lot of it really worrying. And I want to understand how people are doing it here. What's the role of the NGO? How do we resource citizen action? How do we make it sustainable? How do we make sure we avoid the pitfalls of state surveillance and a shutting down of civic space? And I suppose trying to reconcile the UK context and draw lessons from it and share that more broadly, and of course vice versa.
My name is Rhiannon White. I am Artistic Director of Commonwealth, which is a theatre company that works across the UK making political, socially aware theatre. My big question for the future of civil society is who gets to shape it, who feels able to, what power do we have for our future? Like, who feels they have the power?
My name is Devu Purkasa. I'm a venture capitalist, live in London. My one burning question is, what's the future of work going to be like? Because that's coming down the pipe. And is society ready for how we've today valued work, how we value employment, and how we societally, at a societal level, think of being paid to do something which we call work. That's all about to change. And as a society, are we ready for it?
I'm Natalie Fenton and I'm a Professor of Media and Communications at Goldsmiths University of London, and I'm the research lead on the project along with Adam Dinham, also at Goldsmiths. And I have loads of questions for the inquiry because that's my job really, to ask the questions. But I think one or maybe two of the main ones come down to issues of power and democracy. So what does civil society bring to issues of democratic gain and democratic loss, and where do they input in terms of kind of power differentials in society as well? How can they be both empowering and maybe both disempowering?
So my name is Steve Weiler. I'm a member of the inquiry panel, and my big question about the future of civil society is whether we're heading for a kind of civil society activism that depends primarily on philanthropy, private philanthropy on the one hand, and state patronage on the other, or whether we are able to conceive a future for civil society that is more about what people can do on their own terms, self-determining communities, forms of mutual aid, resources for civil society, which come through trading and social enterprise, and therefore a more confident and independent model of civil society, which works with the state, which works with the private sector, but isn't always looking to them for justification and for resources.
I'm Carolyn Wilkins. I'm Chief Executive at Oldham Council, and one of the questions that I'm kind of bringing to the whole inquiry is the connection, really, the relationship between changing models of public service and what that means in relation to changing narratives and changing approaches to civil society, and how do we make sure that we don't see boundaries between the two and they're much more interconnected in reality than perhaps the narrative sometimes indicate. So that's where I'm particularly interested at the moment.
My name is Asif Afridi, and I work for a national equality and human rights charity called BRAP. A big question for me that this panel could investigate is how we develop more effective ways of assessing the impact of civic engagement. Also, I'm really interested in how we could develop more effective methods of civic engagement that respond to our diverse society.
My name is Kadra Aiden. I'm the project coordinator for the inquiry. I guess one of the questions I have during the next 2 years of this inquiry is really how do we challenge power within civil society spaces, and how we ensure that everyone has a seat at the table.